Welcome back to the podcast. Now, it's just me today, your host, Sacramento. It's just a topic that I wanted to bring up because it is a very special weekend. As you soccer slash football fans know, the Premier League and just football all around is coming back. Yeah, we have the MLS and they have a tournament going on right now, but honestly, not a big fan of the MLS. I mean, ever since Messi joined this summer, it's gotten a lot more attention, but to be honest, not a big fan, but it has some good quality here and there. Some highlights worth watching, but most of those are messy anyways. There is four leagues that I wanted to bring up today and kind of just have a prediction for the season. And when the season ends, come back and revisit this podcast and see how many right I got because I am a genius at this and I never lose. I have 100% accuracy in all my guesses. So yeah, it's just a little journey within my footballing mind. Um, Again, if you this is my opinion. If you wish to share your opinion and debate with me, bring that shit on. You can reach out to me or to us on Twitter and Instagram. That's SSDD underscore pod or SSDD underscore podcast. DM me or we can have a conversation on here as well. Bring you guys on. Always up for debate. But again, my opinions on here are just mine, but they're always going to be 100% correct because I am a genius at this. Um, Now, I wanted to start off with La Liga. We're going to start off with some easy ones because, it's not much of just a four-horse race, honestly. Either than that, it's just either Barca or Real Madrid. So, we'll do a quick top four, and then we'll see who's going to be relegated from La Liga. Um, so let's start off with. So actually, we're going to do one, two, three, four, five, six. We're going to do top six for La Liga. In sixth place, I'm going to pick a team that I've seen on, Europa League, how they've performed. They're actually a pretty good team. The only decent three teams I would say besides top three in La Liga. And these I think can actually switch anywhere. So we're gonna go with Real Betis, Villarreal, and Real Sociedad. Now those three, honestly, it's it's gonna be either fourth, fifth, or sixth between those three. I'm not a big La Liga watcher. I mean, the only thing I'll watch are Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Real Madrid games. Those are the only ones worth watching, in my opinion. If you watch the other ones, all praise to you because that is a lot you're gonna have to watch. And unless you're a big fan and you actually live in Spain, you're probably watching the other games. But that's fourth, fifth, or sixth there, guys. Honestly, what the people really want to hear is the top three in La Liga. And three, I think this team has been cemented in there for years, which is Atletico Madrid. I don't think they're going to do anything special this year. I mean, they're losing possibly their best striker, Joao Felix. Don't know where he's going. He just knows he does not want to be there this season. He wants to go to Barca, but they don't have money. So they can't really afford to buy anyone right now. So hopefully he has a place that he can go and show off his talents because Atletico Madrid doesn't want him anymore. Maybe the Saudi League, they're showing interest in him, but as of right now, he is at Atletico Madrid until further notice. The second is the hardest is because again it's a two-horse race in La Liga, guys. It's either Barca or Real Madrid, and since Barca won it last year, and they don't seem to have added to their team this year because they're broke. They're broke as fuck. I think they're gonna come in second. They still got talent. They got a good team, but they need more funding in their squad because if not, these players are going to be playing for free in the next 5 years. And of course, first, I think Real Madrid with the introduction of Jude Bellingham. I think their midfield is stacked with Camavinga and Chouameni. You still got Modric and Cruz. Now, I always think games are won in the midfield, and they honestly have one of the best midfields in the world right now. And I think La Liga is locked in for them this season. So again, my predictions for top three: Atletico, Barça, and Real Madrid. We'll visit this back in a year or so and see how amazing I am at getting these predictions right. um, Now there isn't much with the next league. Again, it's like a two horse race in a lot of leagues. And that's upsetting, but it's still worth to watch and see the stories to go down because there's a lot of other stories that can happen within a season. Um, and Bundesliga always has a good amount of stories, I would say. FC Berlin was one of them. FC Union Berlin was one of them that came back. I think it was the two season or the last season, and they did amazing. Honestly, for the amount of money that they have in a fiscal year and the amount of money that they're paying their players compared to per se Bayern Munich. Their payroll is way astronomical more than FC Union Berlin. So it's unfair for the other teams, but honestly, it's top three is going to be easy to say is probably RB Leipzig third, Borussia Dortmund second, and Bayern Munich first. Honestly, it's been like that for years, except for the third place. That usually fluctuates between different teams. But it doesn't seem to be anyone else breaking into that top three spot. The top two have always been cemented in the Bundesliga. It's either Dortmund or Bayern Munich. And honestly, it's upsetting. We hope to see some difference in the future, but as of now, I think those two teams are always going to be first. And unfortunately, Dortmund is always going to be second. If you are a big Bundesliga fan, you would know that last season they were so close to winning the league. It literally came down to the last day, and Dortmund bottled it. Honestly, it was so upsetting to see, Marco Reus try to do everything he can for that team, and unfortunately, they lost. I believe it was 3-2. Hopefully they come back this season. And realize that they can do better from their mistakes and they actually try to win the league. But it's hard to come back from that. Literally having it in the palm of your hand on the last day, all you have to do is not lose. I mean, they could have tied the game, and I believe they could have won, but they bottled it. And Dortmund are just second for the past few years, and it's hard to see that as a supporter. I mean, if I'm honest, I love Dortmund. I've always wished them the best. It sucked that one year in the Champions League when they lost against Bayern Munich. This has been an ongoing thing, just losing to Bayern Munich, and it's so sad, honestly. So we'll just move on to the next league. And honestly, guys, League PSG. PSG is gonna win it. I don't know what to tell you. No one seems to be close to PSG, and honestly, that's all they'll ever win. It's just the league. I don't think they'll ever get close to a Champions League, especially now that Messi's gone, Mbappe wants to leave, and Neymar wants to go. Hopefully, they can rebuild with actual players that want to play with passion instead of for money. Not saying Messi was one of them, but he clearly wanted to go somewhere where he get a fat check before leaving Europe. But those are my three leagues right there. Again, little recap. La Liga, I think Real Madrid's going to take that. Bundesliga, Bayern Munich is going to take that, again, for like the past 10 years. And same with PSG. Well, I think there was one year that they didn't win it. But PSG is going to win it again for 23-24. Now, the big one that I think is always the hardest to predict, and that's why we're going through the full table in this one. So honestly, sit down, folks, if you're not sitting down already. get your ass on a seat and enjoy this absolutely spot on prediction. So for the Premier League, as if you don't know what relegation is, it's something that's not in basketball or football, American football, I should say, is relegation. So the bottom three teams get relegated, and the top three teams from the league under get promoted to the Premier League. So we got new teams in the Premier League this season, and the one that everyone is talking about is Luton Town. They are probably the smallest stadium out there, shittiest field for a Premier League field. They actually have really important measures in place to make sure that their fields are the best fields out there. And Luton Town honestly looks like a Sunday, a Sunday, what's that called? A Sunday league game, park. And it looks like it's going to be a challenge for any team that goes there that loves to play quick passes and keeps the ball. It's going to be tough. The crowd is literally centimeters, or excuse me, inches away from you. So like you're getting shouted out by all the fans. I think they're going to be the biggest surprise this season. Probably one of the best teams to watch out there, just because of the just the atmosphere of it. It's something that's unknown, because usually in these Premier League stadiums, they're huge. They have a big capacity, and they're, you know, their parking is huge. You know, you could park just outside the stadium. Outside the Luton Town Stadium is houses and apartments. So exactly outside the stadium, surrounding the stadium, are houses and apartments. So people can be watching Manchester City play Luton Town from their living room. And I just think that's mind blowing. I think that's one of the craziest things out there. But to me, I'm just going to throw them in there as the surprise of the season. I think they're going to stay up this season. I don't think they're going to get relegated. So moving on from there, I guess we'll start from 20 up. Alrighty. So speaking of relegation, we'll go with the bottom three. And I think the reason why I'll give a few reasons why I think this one is going to go down first is because they barely survived last season, which is Nottingham Forest. I just don't see them surviving another season. The recruitment that they're bringing in is not the best, and honestly, they did struggle a lot last season. They didn't have the correct structure they needed to be in this league, and when they first got here, they were just spending like crazy. And one of the things that you see with teams who are promoted, they either let go of their best players and then just go and buy as many players as they can with the money that they got from that. And there's no chemistry, no cohesiveness with their team. They should stick to what got them there, and, you know, push for as hard as they can on the table and see where they land. But I think Forest is going to go down this year, so I'm going to put them at 20th. Next is probably one of the craziest games I saw last season. They got 3 red cards, and I just don't see, the correct type of management and just team cohesive. Again, with the cohesiveness and the chemistry, it's very important at this stage of the league, the Premier League. You really need to be a whole team in order if you want to, get far in the league. But I don't see that from Fulham. So for that reason, I'm putting them at 19th. I just don't see it this year. Again, they struggled last year, but I don't think that they're going to make it again. And for 18th, Sheffield United. Again, they just got promoted. But 2 seasons ago, they were relegated. And so now they're back again. And a mistake that I've noticed that they're making is that they're selling their best players. And again, I don't know why you would do that. Being promoted, just stick to your team plan. Why you're selling your best players, I don't know. But this is the reason why I see them getting relegated is these stupid decisions that they're making. So again, for relegation, Forest, Fulham, and Sheffield United, unfortunately not going to be in the Premier League at the end of the season. But I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of moments that surprise us. And so we'll go for the next team, 17th. Again, we'll go a little bit faster on these. It's because it's just middle table. So I guess we'll go back to the team that I was talking about that I think is going to be the biggest surprise, but again, not too much of a surprise. So 17th, we're going to go with Luton Town. I think they're going to be a hard team to play against, especially at home. But the quality, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I haven't seen them play, but I just think the quality might not be there. But they will be a very difficult team to play against. 16th, I'm gonna go with Aston Villa. 15th, Bournemouth. 14th, Everton, and 13th, Crystal Palace. All these teams, are teams that are difficult to play against, but aren't gonna be, absolutely impossible to win against. I think. I mean, looking at Everton, the struggle they had last year, which they almost got relegated, and them being the longest running team in Premier League was. It's probably going to take an effect this year, so I think they'll still be in the lower league of the table. But I don't see a lot coming from these teams. I think they're just going to be the basic teams, just grinding out their wins and having issues all season. But best of luck to them. I'll tell you that. And so we'll go with 12th. 12th is another new team, Burnley. Now, the only reason I have Burnley all the way up here is because of their manager. One of the best defenders of Premier League history, Vincent Kompany, is their manager, and he's also learned from one of the best managers in the world, Pep Guardiola. I think he has a lot to bring to the Premier League this year, so for that reason, he is in 12th for me. And then 11th, we have Brentford. Great team. The way that they pass, their structure. I just think they're a really hard team to play against. Any team that goes up against them really has to come up with tactical awareness plans on how to defend, how to attack. So I think for that reason, they're going to come in 11th. And West Ham. West Ham is another good team that's making a lot of moves out there after selling Declan Rice, their center man. I think it was 100 million euros. So they got a lot in the bank right now. They just won the Europa Conference League. But I don't see them doing much now this year, especially after losing someone as important as Declan Rice, their captain, their best player. It's going to be hard to replace them. So again, maybe 10th. If they might go higher than that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. And now we go to 9th. 9th, I think, is Wolverhampton. Now, I say this, but now I'm taking back my decision because their manager was just let go, and they currently do not have a manager in place right now. I believe as Julian Lopetegui was just released as the manager, so that's unfortunate. So if I'm being honest, I might even put them as 12th now, just for that fact. So honestly, I'm gonna move them back down the list for that reason. I mean, the season hasn't even started. I don't even know the manager, but for that reason, I'm gonna actually put Wolverhampton at 12th, and we're just gonna put Burnley 11th, Brentford 10th, West Ham 9th. Now, 8th. 8th is a sad story because I know a lot of these fans, but with them possibly losing their striker, Mr. Harry Kane, I believe Spurs are going to become 8th this season. There's something wrong at that club right now. I don't know if it's just a curse of not just winning a trophy or them selling their best players, it's just sad to see. I know a lot of friends that are Spurs fans. I mean, Tom Holland, my very good friend, is a Spurs fan, and it's just I know he's going through a lot, and um, for that reason, I'm put them eighth. But a team that's actually doing amazing, and reason why I had to put them below is because Brighton. Brighton is one of the best teams I've seen out there with the ball and off the ball. They did just lose a couple of players, but they still have one of their pivotal ones, Caicedo, in the defense. But they just lost McAllister, World Cup winning champion. He is now with a different team that we'll be talking soon. But their coach is, I think, their most important player. Excuse me, their most important person on the team. The way that he was able to take from Potter's team, who were already amazing and doing great, and he just took them to that next level. Honestly, applause to him because he's done a great job. And I think for that reason, I think they're going to break into the Conference League, and finish seventh. Now, it's been a rough decision so far. I would say that was probably the hardest part, is making those 7 to 20 guesses. Top six, honestly, it's more like the top three is what's getting difficult to predict. But I say sixth. I'm gonna have to go with Chelsea. Chelsea has gone through a lot the past year, but I've put them back higher than they finished last year is because I think with Mauricio Pochettino, um, I think he's gonna bring something to the team. He's been a great coach. I just think that he didn't get the chance at PSG, just because of everything that was going on. I don't think I think anyone would have a tough time coaching those players, but Pochettino's a good coach. He knows what he's doing, and we've clearly seen that in preseason. But unluckily, they lost one of the players that I was looking to watch, is Christopher Nkunku. I think he has a knee injury, so he's going to be out for a couple of months, which just sucks because he was doing so good during preseason. And Chelsea themselves were doing good during preseason. During preseason, they got some new players. They let go of a lot of players, which is the right thing to do. So a team like Chelsea is never going to be far behind, just because they've had years and years of just being able to switch managers and win trophies. So I think Chelsea, going to come in sixth, Europa League next season. And in fifth place, I don't know. I just don't see much coming from them. Last season, they finished in this position, so I'm going to have to put them again in this position because I just don't see that passion that they had a few years ago. It's almost like they won everything, and now that team is not as determined to win again. But for fifth, I have Liverpool. I just don't see too much from them. Their preseason wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. So I'm going to have them in fifth for this season, especially with being in the Europa League. They're going to be traveling a lot. So it's going to be a lot of tired legs for Liverpool, but we'll see how they do. Now, here we go with the nitty-gritty stuff. Fourth place is a team that, honestly, they've had the money. They have the backing of the coach, and they've been playing amazing football. Newcastle. I think Newcastle is doing amazing things, especially now with their new owners. I believe Saudi money, or I don't know which money it is. It's oil money, I'll tell you that. But hey, it's brought in them this far. They didn't win a trophy last year, so I have a feeling they're gonna break into the top four this year. They have a great team. Honestly, guys, don't sleep on Newcastle. Newcastle's great. Now, this is the top three is where I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me. But again, I'm a prediction god. I'm going to get this right. Bit money. But third place, Arsenal. I believe Arsenal are going to be coming in third place. I know they finished second last year, but they seem to be having a striker issue up front. Gabriel Jesus, again, knee injury. And who do they have to replace that? Kai Havertz. Honestly, guys, if you've seen Kai Havertz during preseason and at Chelsea, the man is going through a confidence problem. Um, he's missing chances. I just don't see that they have the striker that they need right now to put them in a championship spot. And that is where they struggled last season, is being, I mean, not to score goals, honestly. Arsenal is great at doing that. But in the most important goals to put them over that finish line and to keep that win, I think that's where Arsenal's going to lack. And unfortunately, finish in third place. Second place. Now, this one's a hard one because just of what happened last year. I think it's going to be hard to replicate that. But I'm going to say Manchester City comes in second place just because they won the treble last year. And you know, how do you say that? How do you say that? After winning everything last year, how do you put them in second place? Well, for exactly that reason is why I'm putting them in second place. Just think of it mentally. After winning everything last season and kind of just having to do that again, it's very draining. You know, they're human beings. I know Pep Guardiola is going to push them as far as they can, but I'm a say second place, and you know that leaves one spot left. You know, the Red Devils. You know, Manchester United and my team. And you're gonna probably say like, "Wow, that's so biased, dude." Like, honestly, what the fuck? That's your team. They gonna win, bitch. That's all I gotta say. I think I'm gonna state my facts. I think Eric Ten Hag is gonna pull a Jose Mourinho, and the second season he's gonna win the league. He won silverware last season, so we know that these are champions and they are hungry. I think they're probably one of the hungriest teams out there right now to prove themselves. And we have champions on this team that know what it takes to win. Speaking about, you know, Casemiro and Rafa Varane, I mean, argue me with all you want. They've won so much at Real Madrid. They know how to bring that mentality in. Now that we have a striker, granted, he's injured-ish, but we just bought a new striker that's injured. I just think that the people we're taking away and the people that we're bringing in are the right signings and the right exits. Again, I'm really good at these predictions. I know you're probably so scared about my predictions and how right they're going to be. And we're going to visit this, probably even play some audios. And maybe I'll have to listen to myself be wrong, but I ain't going to think about that. I think I'm going to be right. I think Manchester United are going to win the league. And honestly, I trust the coach. I think he's going to do amazing stuff. But hey, out of all those leagues, there's always one tournament that all these leagues compete in, the best of the best of the best, sir, and that is the champions. Thank you. I practice hitting that note. But the Champions League is going to be a difficult one. Again, Manchester City won the treble. They won the league. They won the Champions League. They won the FA Cup. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League again. I think, honestly, if we go to this, I'm going to predict the semifinals. I think City is going to be in the semifinals again. I think Real Madrid is going to be in the semifinals. I'm going to say Bayern Munich is probably going to be in the semifinals. And damn. Hot damn. Barca, maybe Barca. I don't know. I don't think so. They have a good team, but I don't know if they just have that quality to finish all the way to the season. So I'm gonna say, yeah, those four. No, I mean, I want to say Manchester United again. But we just don't have the depth to compete in that many games. I don't think we have the depth. I don't want to say City again, but honestly, they're the team right now with the biggest depth out there. Um, so I'll probably I don't think though. I don't think City's gonna win the league again, but hot take. I think City might win the Champions League again. And I honestly think it might be a Real Madrid versus Manchester City final, with City taking the final. I just see those two teams being the teams to beat this season. Honestly, they're going to be the most difficult. They have the most depth, and just the players on both teams are the most quality. But I'm gonna think Manchester United is gonna take the English Premier League. City will be Champions League winners. La Liga, Real Madrid. Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, and League will probably PSG. And hey, while we're at it, let's bring on the topic of the Women's World Cup. We're getting close to the end of that World Cup. I will say this. My money is on my money is on the final being the three lions, the lionesses, England versus Project Blue Lock, Japan, with England taking it home. I think it's coming home to England. I think the quality of the girls are honestly on par with the men's, and I think that's honestly they've come a long way. They've really improved on their passage of play, their finishing, their tactical awareness. I think that England is just the team to beat right now. They're just very, very cohesive. Everyone knows their organization, their position on where they're supposed to be, and I think for that reason, I think England's going to take it, but Japan is going to put up a hell of a fight. Honestly, guys, go ahead and watch the Women's World Cup. Support your ladies. They have been playing amazing this year. Not to say that the past games weren't interesting at all. They've honestly, I've seen the women up their game, and guys, watch the ladies. They will surprise you. Yes, all respect to the ladies. You guys are doing amazing out there in the World Cup. It sucks that USA got knocked out, and I thought they were gonna go further, so that's why my money's on England to win it all. So go ahead, ladies. You guys are killing it. Other than that, I mean, the other thing we got going on is, of course, Messi's probably gonna win another fucking trophy over here in the MLS, and he's probably gonna break the record for the most goals in Miami. Probably hold the gold record, guys. Messi's just killing it there, but I don't think we should be selling tickets at $1,000 a piece. Let me just go see Messi. I just want to see Messi, and I just don't want to. I just don't want to break my pocket. Just trying to go see him. I just want to go see him. I mean, I'll cry. I will. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just even seeing him on the field that close would probably make me a lot of things. A lot of things I can't say. I love that man. He's so amazing. But yes, Ankara Messi, Ankara Messi, Ankara Messi, Ankara Messi. Guys, those are my predictions. If you feel that I am wrong and need to be told to shut up and I don't know what I'm talking about, reach out to me on Twitter, Instagram, SSDD_podcast. Tell me how big of a piece of shit I am and my predictions are wrong, because I know I'm going to be right, motherfucker. But I'm just kidding, guys. This is all love for me. I love this game. I want to talk to all y'all about it. If you have any opinions, reach out to me. We'll have a little bit of debate and all that. The season is starting this weekend. United's first game against Wolverhampton. We already have a manager bounce back against freaking Wolverhampton because they fucking let go of their coach. So I'm pretty sure as a manager, he's probably pissed. He's like, I had all these tactics set up for this manager, and I got to throw the book out and freaking see what's going. Whatever, bitch. Yeah. Season starts. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. If you listened this far, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. I know it's been just me. But thank you guys for listening. Love you all and have a great day.